Greetings, Royal Family, Royal Family. Welcome to another edition of the What the Friday Show, the Saturday edition. Had some technical difficulties, but I had to get this content out to you by any means necessary. If you are new to my channel, my name is Royal B, and this is the Royal Family. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you read the title and the description. If not, I am jumping right on in. If you have watched other episodes of the What the Friday Show, you already know that I start with a little bit of foolishness from a particular state. I'll let you guess. So if you haven't heard, there was a Wendy's employee that decided to take a bath in an industrial sink at the restaurant. He thought that this was a good idea. So Wendy's employee takes a bath at the restaurant. Honey, he was off the clock. One of his co-workers was filming this foolishness, and you could hear his employee in his co-worker, in the background saying, how does it feel? Get on in. And the employee, he was like, it feels warm, turn the jets on. And she's saying to him, go ahead, wash your body, get your armpits. To which she hands him a roll of paper towel. And they're so smart, right, that they thought it was a good idea to not only do this, but record it and upload it to Snapchat and Facebook. Ooh, you got to give it up for some of these people in this generation. They are just geniuses, right? So, of course, people, Wendy's executives caught wind of this, and they had to give statements because of this foolishness, and they stated that, this is unacceptable behavior, and the employee was fired, rightfully so, and the person that was recording the video and egging him on, she was let go as well. So poor Wendy's, they can you guess? Have you guessed yet what state this was? So again, they posted it to Snapchat and Facebook. The video is all over the internet. And there was an employee that actually wrote a statement on Facebook. The employee wrote, he was off the clock. I'm off the clock, okay? He was off the clock, and the repulsive incident was 2 minutes long. People have done it before. And the only reason it's a problem now is because old people have Facebook. This is one of the employees that actually posted this to Facebook. If you haven't guessed by now, like I said, I always start off my show with Florida foolishness. Give it up for Florida. Woo! Give it up. So a couple of employees were actually posting on Facebook as well, saying that they suggest that no one eats at this in Milton, Florida. They suggest that no one eats at this particular Wendy's because apparently all types of shenanigans and foolishness goes on. Honey, I can't even believe that these idiots did something like this. And I'm glad that they were stupid enough to post it on Facebook. I am, because now people will see this and hopefully no longer frequent that restaurant. What were you thinking? Like, you see, all we need is one person to encourage foolishness. What were you thinking to take off your clothes? You were in your underwear and get in the sink at a restaurant where people eat. You see, this is why a lot of people don't go out to eat. I understand, because this is the type of God only knows what other type of nonsense goes on in some of these restaurants. You try to hire these young kids to give them an opportunity, and to make some money, and you do stupid stuff like this, and you're probably gonna mess up your chances at getting employed somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I get having fun, but come on, not at the expense of people's health, and other people's jobs. Like, what if they decide to shut down this particular Wendy's because they're either not getting business or because of this bad press? You got innocent people now, out of a job. Good job, Floridian boy. Good job. But I always start out my show with Florida foolishness because it just seems to be a lot to spread around. Shout out to my bro who actually sent me this story and requested that I put this in my video. Good looking out, buddy. Moving along. Carl Crawford. Does that name sound familiar? Carl Crawford is a former MLB player who was engaged to Evelyn Lozada, who is a cast member on Basketball Wives. So, interesting fact. You ever heard of Megan Thee Stallion? Megan Thee Stallion is basically tearing up, you know, the scene, the hip hop rap scene. She's a female MC from Houston, Texas. Debuted her album recently called Fever, and it's pretty much topping the charts, the Billboard charts. Carl Crawford, former MLB player, former fiance of Evelyn Lozada, was the one who signed Megan Thee Stallion to his record label. Who knew? I thought that this was interesting. So he played for 15 years in the MLB, and he made over $179 million. Yes, $179 million. And he decided to invest into building an actual studio and building up a record label. So he signed Megan Thee Stallion, and he is getting a huge return on his investment because Megan is out here doing big things. You know, her mom recently passed. She was her manager. She was in the underground scene for a very long time. Like I said, she's from Houston, Texas. She gives me like a real Pimp C, Juicy J type vibe, but she's a female, obviously. So he was the one who signed her to his record label, and man, what a return on your investment. So that was in the news this past week. He did a video. He put out a video wanting everybody to know that he was the one who signed Megan Thee Stallion to his record label. So shout out to you. You know, it was good to see him use his money for something good and not like, you know, spend it on like drugs and prostitutes. You know, maybe he did that too, but whatever, you know, to each his own. So shout out to Carl Crawford, and congratulations, Miss Megan Thee Stallion, on all your success. Woo-wee, this next one is a doozy. All right, Uncle OJ is in the news again, y'all. OJ is in the news again, and his former manager, thought it was a good idea to shop around this documentary film that he's trying to do on OJ titled Who Killed Nicole. So for whatever reason, this former manager thought it was a good idea to shop around this documentary that he's trying to come out with. And he is telling the press basically that OJ informed him that he slept with Kris Jenner, and the sexual encounter was so aggressive that Kris Jenner had to end up going to the hospital. TMI, but whatever. So Norman Pardo, that is OJ's former manager. So he's going around saying that there was one particular night where OJ, Nicole Simpson, when she was alive, Kris Jenner, as well as Rob Kardashian Sr., which is Kris Jenner's ex-husband, when he was also alive, they were all together, you know, at OJ's house, and they were in the jacuzzi. They were having a good time, and for whatever reason, Rob Kardashian Sr., as well as Nicole Simpson, decided to get out of the jacuzzi and go inside. So that left OJ and Kris Jenner, or Kris, well, she was a Kardashian back then, but you know who I'm talking about. So it left Kris and OJ in the pool, in the jacuzzi, and to which OJ has said, you know, he told his former manager that he allegedly pulled his pants down to show Kris Jenner, you know, his body part, and her eyes bulged open wide. They began to have, you know, intercourse. And later on that night, OJ was, you know, in his room, and everybody was wherever they were, and Kris Jenner knocks on his door and asks OJ, you know, can you please take me to the hospital? So OJ allegedly stated, like, no, why don't you have Rob do it? Savage. First of all, I have a few questions. Number one, you have two married couples, and Rob Sr. and Nicole Simpson decide to get out of the jacuzzi and go in the house to do what? Leaving their spouses in the jacuzzi together? That's a pretty close relationship, if you ask me. And when OJ and Chris were allegedly having intercourse, like, she wasn't screaming. If it was so painful enough for her to want to go to the hospital, she wasn't screaming. Like, what was Rob Sr. and Nicole doing in the house? You let me know what you think, royal family. And for her to ask OJ to take her to the hospital, why? Like, wouldn't her husband want to know why she was going to the hospital? Why did she go in OJ's room to ask OJ specifically to take her to the hospital? I don't know. This sounds a little bit weird. It sounds a little bit crazy, and it sounds like this former manager may be hard up for some cash, and he's just trying to, like, you know, shop this little documentary around to get some money to pay the bills. So I don't know. And then the article also goes on to say that the former manager feels that this possibly put a strain on OJ and Chris and Rob Sr.'s marriage, and he, you know, filed for divorce. So I don't know. That just seems a little bit weird. So OJ didn't give a statement as to any credibility toward these statements that his former manager is making. I just find it real weird. Like, I don't know why I can't get past that whole jacuzzi part. So, like, a male leaves his wife in the jacuzzi with his friend's husband. That just seemed weird. Like I said, if the encounter was so aggressive to the point where she needs to go to the hospital, like, there were no screams, like, y'all didn't see what was going on. I don't know. Maybe they had that type of relationship or open relationship, but I don't know. And it speaks a lot to OJ's character that you would sleep with your friend, because Rob Sr. and OJ were friends, even though he represented him, you know, legally. It speaks volumes that, you know, you would do that to your friend if this is true. And also Kris Jenner too. It doesn't surprise me in the least. Moving along. I was speaking of Florida earlier. Kodak Black. Now, I know I said before that I don't even want to report on Kodak Black. I don't even want to hear about Kodak Black. But Kodak Black is in jail, and he's basically going to be staying there at least until September. So the judge is not granting him any bail, any supervised bail, or nothing, because the judge feels that he is a danger to society. So Kodak Black recently was arrested in Florida at a concert, Rolling Loud. He was arrested because he lied on a federal gun application. Like, he was applying for a gun, or he wanted to fill out an application to get a gun. And he has charges. He has federal charges. So he lied and said no, he doesn't have any federal charges or anything like that. And he has pending cases in other states. So Kodak wanted to get out of jail this time around, or be released, because he has a court case in North Carolina for a sexual assault. He has a couple of other gun charges as well. So Kodak is not having a good year whatsoever, and he has said before that he doesn't want any advice. He doesn't want anyone preaching to him. So it seems like he is exactly where he wants to be. So I hope he's getting comfortable in the jail that he's in, because he's going to be there for quite some time. So again, his case is supposed to be going to trial in September. So the judge is not granting him any bail or nothing. Kodak, you brought this on yourself. I mean, you don't really care. You obviously don't care. You like the attention. You keep doing the same type of things to get you in the same type of trouble. I wonder what's gonna happen if he misses his court date for his sexual assault case that he has in North Carolina. Like, what's gonna happen? You're going to be automatically found guilty because you didn't show up? Or are they going to take into consideration that you were locked up in Florida? Like, I do think he should spend some time in jail, only because you need to learn, like, bro. Like, you really need to learn. You need to cool down. You need to, like, really think, and you need to grow up. And I don't like to see people getting locked up, or people being, you know what I mean, locked up, but sometimes people push that fate on themselves. Like, you really don't care. Like, you straight up don't care. And God forbid you do something, you high, you drunk, you do something, an innocent person gets killed, a sexual assault. oh nah, you need to have a seat and sit down right where you are. And I just feel like you have all this fame, you've acquired all of this fame, acquired all this money, and you thought that your money was going to get you out of this situation this time around. And, you know, we the people can't care more than you care. So you don't want anybody preaching to you. You don't want anybody saying anything to you, giving you any advice. His words, not mine. So then you stay right where you are. I mean, it seems like that's where you want to be, right? I mean, I have nothing else to say about Kodak Black. Moving along, the NBA Finals have begun. Game 1 was played on, was it Thursday? On Thursday. So the NBA Finals, the two teams that made it to the finals were the Toronto Raptors and the Golden State Warriors. So I did report about Drake before and his cheerleading antics. You know, the commissioner specifically told Drake, you know, tone it down. You know, we don't want all of these antics. Please, Drake ignored all of that. Game 1, let me tell you, Drake plays entirely too much. Too much. Drake showed up on the courts with a Toronto Raptors jersey. And if you notice, it said Curry on the back. So some of you may be wondering, Curry plays for the Golden State Warriors. Drake had on a old jersey of Steph Curry's father. Now, how petty is that? I think Drake wins the petty award for the week, at least. For the week. At least until game 2. We'll see what happens. And he also had on his Steph Curry's father's sneakers. He had on his old jerseys, old Toronto Raptors jersey, because Steph Curry's dad did end his career, retired playing for the Raptors. Drake also had on like a wristband over his tricep, which seems to be getting a little bit bigger. Drake seems like he's bulking up a little bit. Is it just me? Let me know, Royal Family. Did you notice that? Anyway, Drake covered up the tattoo that he has, the jersey numbers that he has tattooed on his arm of Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Now, Steph Curry and Drake are friends. It's said that they're like, you know, outside of this little petty foolishness, that they are friends. Well played, Aubrey. Well played. I thought it was funny. I really thought it was funny. Drake is like the ultimate troll. I think he's up there with this stunt. I think he's neck and neck with 50 Cent. Please make sure that you check to make sure that you don't owe 50 Cent any money, because apparently everybody owes 50 Cent money. But shout out to the Toronto Raptors. They did win game 1. Game 2 is scheduled to be played on Sunday. So tune in. I like to watch like the semifinals or the championships or whatever, and then the finals I really tune in. I don't know who I'm rooting for. Like, I'm rooting for whoever plays the best basketball. Like, neither one of these two teams are my like favorite teams that I go up for. Golden State is a championship team. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is Toronto's first time in the finals in a long time or ever. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Let me know. I thought it was really cool that they did bring out some of the OGs from the Raptors. They brought out Muggsy Bogues, who has aged. I remember little Muggsy, but he looks old in the face but small in the body. No, they all look great though. Muggsy Bogues, Isaiah Thomas was there. Tracy McGrady is aging like fine wine. Yes, he is aging very well. He looked great. There was someone else there that I wasn't familiar with, and I noticed that Vince Carter wasn't there. And Vince Carter did play for the Raptors. I wonder why. I don't know. I don't know if there's any beef with him in the organization or what. But yeah, I thought that was really cute. You know what I mean? To pay homage to the OGs of the Raptors. And again, I think this is the Raptors' first time ever going to the finals. So if that's true, shout out to them. Even if it's not, shout out to them, to the two teams that made it to the finals. Let me know who you're rooting for and why. Are you watching? Are you catching up? Watch. It's fun. You know, Drake is kind of making it fun. Yeah, he's a troll, and he is the ambassador for the Toronto Raptors. You know, Drake has like a silly personality. I think it's good because, in my opinion, it's probably going to drive views to the NBA Finals. I mean, it's as far as ratings go, people tune in, but this will just have more people tuning in, people who probably don't care about basketball or never really cared about basketball, don't really watch, or are not a fan of either of the two teams, just to see Drake's antics. So I guess it's publicity, it's drawing attention. So congratulations to both teams for making it to the finals, and an even bigger congratulations to the Raptors who won game 1. So Royal Family, get down in the comments and let me know what you think about Drake and his antics. Let me know what you think about how Golden State played and how Toronto played. Who do you think is going to take it? Like, who do you think is going to win? Like I said, I'm rooting for whoever is willing to play good basketball. Okay? Now, 50 Cent is out here. Honey, 50 Cent Collection Agency is not playing with any of y'all. So if you owe 50 money, I don't care if it was from back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. You better pony up the dough plus interest. So there was a video that I saw on Instagram of Rotimi, who plays Dre on Power. Rotimi was basically saying, like, I don't owe you any money. So I'm confused. I'm like, what is he talking about? So I'm looking in the comments and I see that 50 Cent did a video prior to that stating that Rotimi owes him money and it's time to pay up. I didn't check back up on this. I don't know if it was a publicity stunt to kind of promote Rotimi's album. That one song that he has is a good song, and I wish him nothing but the best of luck. I didn't even know he was that talented, or he sang, or whatever it is, so that he does. But it's just, it was funny at first, and then I was like, is this a publicity stunt? Because we know 50 is the biggest troll on the internet. Like, everybody owes you money. I also saw an interview with Omari Hardwick, who plays Ghost on Power, an interview that he did, I guess a while back, with Angie Martinez. And he was saying that 50 loaned him money. And he's the type of person that feels that if someone loans you money and someone invests in you, when you go to pay them back, you should pay them back plus interest. So he paid 50 his money plus interest. What? Why is everybody borrowing money from 50 Cent? 50, if you like giving out money, why don't you pay off some of these people's student loan debts? Like, what's going on here? Like, the bank of 50, like 50 is, oh God, and he just loves it. He's eating it up. So I don't know if the Rotimi and 50 thing is real or if they're doing it for publicity. If you have more information than I have at the moment, Royal Family, let me know. Provide it. Share it with us. Put it in the comments. Let me know. I'm kind of tired of 50 Cent, so I didn't even really follow up. But he's so annoying. Like, sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's not. I'd rather see him do all of this and go at it with a man as opposed to a woman. Because that whole situation with Tierra Marie, I mean, I understand that she probably didn't think before she tried to sue 50 for defamation of character, because the video, the sex tape was already circulating. And for you to kind of pull out 50 and try to go at him and accuse him of circulating the tape when it was already out. So, you can't really play with him like that. But I'd rather see 50 going back and forth with a man as opposed to a woman. Because that whole Tierra thing was just a little bit, it's just like cringy. But whatever. So, Royal Family, who do you think had the best week ever? Do you think it was OJ? Do you think it was OJ's former manager, who is trying to come out with this documentary? Do you think it was the Toronto Raptors? Do you think it was the Florida employee, former Wendy's employee, or Wendy's? Do you think Wendy's is having the best week ever? How about Carl Crawford? Being that he's the one that signed Megan Thee Stallion to his record label. Shout out to him for even having a record label. That's dope, Who's having the best week ever? I would have to say Carl Crawford. Like, no disrespect to the Raptors, but you won game 1. You got a couple more games to play, but I think Carl Crawford is having the best week ever. Former MLB player, over $179 million in earnings just from playing baseball. Never mind any endorsement deals. And then now, having signed Megan Thee Stallion, and she is like blowing up. Her album is doing great. Bravo. I think Carl is having the best week ever. Royal family, I want to thank all of you for watching. I want to thank all of you who are sending me feedback, sending me topics for my What the Friday show. This was a special edition. This is going to be airing on a Saturday. Due to technical difficulties, I was not able to air this on a Friday, but that is not going to stop the Royal family. It's not going to stop me from bringing you content. I'm going hard for y'all. Shout out to my new subscribers. Shout out to all of my subscribers. Those of you who take the time to comment, give me your feedback. The Royal family is growing and we can only get bigger. You know what I mean? We can only get bigger. So be sure to like this video if you like it. Get down in the comments. Discuss with me any of the topics that I went over. Tell me what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of. I'm open to feedback. This is the Royal family. We should be able to converse with one another. Have a good, healthy dialogue. Let me know what you think. Share my content. If you think somebody would enjoy any of my commentary, share it. Don't keep me all to yourself. Royal family, I am signing off, but I will see you very, very soon. Until next time, peace.